the review starts, I just want to apologize. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded any reviews quite some time now because I've been away. Uh, that's okay, I'm back now. I just got back from seeing End of Oak Street and what I think of this movie. Let's start the review. So, the film follows the Platt family after a mysterious cosmic event tears their suburban neighborhood away from normal reality and drops them into an unfamiliar prehistoric environment. It stars Anne Hathaway, Ewan McGregor, Maisie Stella, and Christian Convery, and is directed by David Robert Mitchell. So, hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we'll be talking about The End of Oak Street, the brand new sci-fi adventure movie from director David Robert Mitchell. This is a movie that caught my attention because the premise is absolutely bizarre. Imagine your ordinary suburban neighborhood suddenly being transported into a world filled with dinosaurs. So this is The End of Oak Street, a fun new dinosaur adventure, or does it get lost in the wilderness? Let's talk about it. Before we continue this review, we'll be mostly spoiler free. I'll let you know before we get into any major story details. The movie follows the Platt family who live on Oak Street. Everything seems relatively normal at first, but strange things begin happening around the neighborhood. Then the situation becomes much bigger than anyone could have imagined. Oak Street is suddenly ripped away from suburbia and transported somewhere completely unknown. The family soon discovers that they're surrounded by a prehistoric environment, and yes, they are dinosaurs. What I really like about this setup is that instead of simply sending a group of characters to a jungle, the movie brings the prehistoric world directly into suburbia. You get dinosaurs roaming around houses, streets, and backyards. It's a pretty crazy idea, but that's also what makes the movie so entertaining. Kind of gives you like Jumanji and Primeval vibes right there. Anne Hathaway is the standout for me. She plays Denise Platt and she gives the character a lot of emotional weight, even though the movie has some pretty ridiculous situations. Hathaway plays the family drama seriously, which helps keep everything grounded. Ewan McGregor also does a great job as Greg. The family dynamic is one of the strongest parts of the movie because underneath all the dinosaur chaos, this is still a story about a family trying to stay together. Now let's talk about the main attraction, the dinosaurs. The movie does a good job of gradually building up the prehistoric threats instead of immediately throwing every dinosaur imaginable at us. Some of the encounters are generally exciting while others lean more into the movie's weird sense of humour. I also like the idea of taking unfamiliar suburban locations and turning them into dangerous environments. A place that normally feels completely safe suddenly becomes somewhere you have to be extremely careful. Visually, the movie looks pretty impressive. David Robert Mitchell gives the film a strange atmosphere that separates from a straightforward dinosaur blockbuster. You could definitely feel the influence of a classic Spielberg-style adventure movies, but Mitchell also brings some of his own darker and stranger filmmaking style to it. The result is something that feels familiar, but also pretty unusual. For me, the biggest strength is the combination of family drama and dinosaur adventure. The movie can be exciting and funny one moment, then surprisingly emotional the next. I also appreciate that it isn't simply trying to copy Jurassic Park. It clearly has some classic adventure influence, but the suburban setting gives it its own identity. However, I don't think everything works perfectly. Some of the characters outside the main family aren't developed as well as they could be. There are also moments where the movie's strange tone might not work for everyone. If you're expecting a completely straightforward dinosaur thriller, some of the answers may leave viewers wanting a little more explanation. Overall, I had a pretty good time with The End of Oak Street. It's an unusual combination of suburban family drama, science fiction, creature feature, and old school adventure. Definitely isn't perfect, but I appreciate that David Robert Mitchell tried something different instead of simply making another conventional dinosaur movie. Anne Hathaway gives the movie a strong emotional center, the dinosaur sequences are entertaining, and the basic concept is just so bizarre that it's hard not to be curious about it. So I'm gonna give End of Oak Street a 7.5 out of 10. It's a fun and unusual dinosaur adventure with some great adventures, even if the story doesn't hit the mark. But that's just my opinion. Have you seen The End of Oak Street? Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more reviews. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.